Oil pulling, a strategic misdirection. The promise of oral detoxification through coconut oil swishing masks a fundamental lack of scientific validation and a strategically misleading brand narrative. Organic Alt's promotional material surrounding oil pulling presents a superficially appealing solution to oral health concerns, leveraging the growing consumer interest in natural remedies and holistic health.
The core claim that consistent coconut oil swishing effectively removes bacteria and improves oral hygiene lacks robust scientific support, relying heavily on anecdotal evidence and the propagation of unsubstantiated health trends. This tactic capitalizes on the public's desire for alternative wellness solutions, exploiting a vulnerability within the market driven by a preference for perceived natural treatments over rigorously tested pharmaceutical interventions.
The website's own failure to host the promised evidence-based guide further underscores the dubious foundation of this promotional strategy. Ultimately, Organic Alt's approach represents a calculated attempt to generate engagement and sales through a compelling yet ultimately hollow health narrative.
The erosion of trust in natural claims. The absence of verifiable evidence surrounding oil pulling represents a critical risk to Organic Alt's brand reputation and market positioning. Historically, the promotion of natural remedies has often involved a degree of self-regulation, relying on consumer perception and positive word of mouth.
However, the increasing sophistication of health information and the rise of critical analysis demand demonstrable proof of efficacy. Organic Alt's reliance on a non-existent evidence base, coupled with the website's own inability to provide a credible resource, directly undermines the foundational trust necessary for sustained market penetration.
The current trend towards increased scrutiny of health claims, particularly those associated with detoxification and oral health detox, exacerbates this vulnerability. Furthermore, the lack of transparency surrounding the sourcing and quality of the coconut oil itself introduces an additional layer of potential concern for discerning consumers, suggesting a prioritization of marketing over genuine product integrity.
The strategic omission of verifiable data constitutes a significant and potentially devastating risk for the brand's long-term viability.
Analyzing the mechanism and market opportunity. The purported mechanism of action, lauric acid's antibacterial properties, is overstated and unsupported by comprehensive clinical trials. The promotional narrative hinges on the assumption that lauric acid, a fatty acid abundant in coconut oil, possesses significant antibacterial properties capable of disrupting bacterial biofilms within the oral cavity.
While lauric acid does exhibit antimicrobial activity in vitro, the translation of this activity to a complex, dynamic environment such as the human mouth is far from established. The effectiveness of oil pulling likely depends on factors beyond lauric acid concentration, including swishing technique, duration, and individual oral microbiome composition. These variables remain poorly understood.
Market analysis reveals a significant opportunity within the lifestyle and holistic health segments for products offering genuine scientifically validated oral health solutions. However, Organic Alt's strategy predicated on a weak scientific basis risks alienating health-conscious consumers who prioritize evidence-based treatments and ultimately undermines the broader movement towards informed wellness choices.
The strategic misdirection creates a critical gap between perceived benefit and demonstrable efficacy.
Strategic risk and future mitigation. Organic Alt's continued reliance on unsubstantiated claims exposes the brand to significant reputational damage and regulatory scrutiny. Looking ahead, Organic Alt faces substantial strategic risks associated with its continued promotion of oil pulling without demonstrable evidence.
The potential for negative publicity surrounding the lack of scientific validation, combined with increasing regulatory pressure regarding health claims, necessitates a fundamental shift in approach. A proactive strategy should prioritize rigorous clinical trials to substantiate the efficacy of coconut oil swishing for oral health, coupled with transparent communication regarding the limitations of the current research.
Simultaneously, Organic Alt must address the immediate issue of the missing evidence guide by creating and publishing a genuinely evidence-based resource. Failure to do so will not only perpetuate the current misdirection, but also expose the brand to heightened legal and reputational risks.
Ultimately, a commitment to scientific integrity, a demonstrable shift away from marketing hyperbole, is crucial for Organic Alt's long-term sustainability, Within the competitive landscape of natural remedies,